Hey guys, it's Kim George here from Your Chic Geek, and I want to welcome you to a brand spanking new video. How are you? How y'all doing? Y'all getting ready for Q4? You ready? All right, all right. And I actually have a video that's going to be released later this week to talk about that. Just a couple of tips, a couple little tips. So, anyways, though, welcome to a new video, guys. Before we dive in, I'd love for you guys to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of the good stuff. Please also make sure that you select the notification bell or hit that to make sure that whenever I do publish new videos that you are getting the notifications. Awesome. So also for those of you that are interested in learning more about using branding to sell more low content books, you can head over to check out my flagship course, which is called From Publish to Profit. And then I have some freebies as well. One is going to be a swipe file with a list of over 200 niches that you can create low content books around, and then also a free masterclass. And I've recently created a new community and a membership for those of you who are interested in potentially starting a journal business, or maybe you want to publish journals but you struggle with them, you struggle with the designing them, creating interiors for them, and etc. You can head over to check out the Journal Creators Collective. So that is that. Now we're going to get into today's video where we're going to be talking about the 7 things to do before you start publishing low content books. So this is basically going to be a quick list and things that you want to consider before you get off into the game. I know that low content book publishing is very popular. I love it. I know a lot of people that love it. I know a lot of people that are doing very well with publishing low content books. But before you even start, okay, these are some things that you definitely want to consider and think about. All right, so coming in at number 1 is going to be understanding niche research. I talk about this a lot on my channel. I actually have a video where you can go that talks about how to niche down. For those of you that are interested, you can head over to check that out. But you have to understand how to find niches on your own. I see a lot of videos that put a lot of content out about, finding niches, or here's a secret niche, and etc. And those are fine and they have their place, but you have to be able to do this for yourself. You cannot be dependent on other people to find niches for you. All right. Now, number 2 is going to be reading KDP's terms of services page. This is something that you definitely want to do before you start publishing, just so you can familiarize yourself with, publishing with KDP's terms, to make sure that you're staying within the guidelines of publishing on their platform, that you don't do anything to get yourself in trouble, and so on and so forth. And so KDP does have a link, and I'll put the link below to that, but you definitely want to familiarize yourself with their terms of services so you can make sure that again, you're staying within the guidelines of publishing on their platform. Number 3 is going to be understanding trademarks and basically how to do research to make sure that you're not infringing on anyone's trademarks. I see this a lot, and I'm still very surprised that people are getting away with this. I've seen it to where, I'm in groups and stuff, and I'll see people say, oh, KDP terminated my account for no reason. And then people will say, well, can you give us a link to your book, or can you give us a link to the title? And it's something that is trademarked, or it's something that is directly copying someone else. This is a huge no-no. So before you start publishing, you definitely want to familiarize yourself with how to go and research trademarks. Now, me being in the US, I go to the USPTO website to research trademarks. However, if you're not in the US and you want to go and look up trademarks, you can head over to check out WIPO.int. But basically, this is a trademark database portal that you can go and use to find different trademarks across the globe. Okay, this is global. So I will have a link to that, so you can head over to check that out. And again, if you're not sure about something, or if you're trying to create a book and you want to use a specific title, or you want to use, certain images and things like that you're not really familiar with, I highly recommend that you head over to check out this database and just do a search to see if it's something that is going to be infringing, because that can cause you some issues and it could cause your account to potentially be terminated. So you want to make sure that you are checking that out. All right, so number 4 is going to be getting your book dimensions and sizes correct, especially for your covers. This is something that a lot of people struggle with. I get a lot of emails about this. And what I can tell you guys is, fortunately, you do not have to cowboy math it and try to figure this out on your own. There are tools that you can use that will help you. One tool is free. The other one is paid, but I'm going to list out both of them. So the free tool that you can use is going to be none other than the KDP cover calculator. So once you go over to the KDP cover calculator, you're going to enter in your book information, which is going to be the binding type, the interior type, the paper type, the page turn direction, which is always pretty much left to right, your measurement units, which is going to be in inches. Which is going to be in inches. And then the interior trim size. This basically means the size of the book that you want to create. So if you're creating a 6x9 book, you want to enter that, or an 8.5 by 11. And then the big thing is going to be your page count. The number of pages that you have in your book is ultimately going to determine the trim size, or not the trim size, but the cover size for your book. So you'll just enter in your page numbers or the amount of pages. So for example, if it's 100, you'll enter that in, and then you click on calculate dimensions. And this is going to give you the cover size for your book. And so you'll take that dimension for the width and the height, and you will add that to your design tool. Now, I like to use Tangent templates. I think their KDP helper tool is phenomenal, and it really just takes the guesswork out of everything for me. So I invested in this. It's a one-time fee of about $60, but I really can tell you that it's really going to be worth it for you if you can invest in this. But you basically do the same thing. You put in your cover type, trim size, page numbers, paper type, if you have bleed or no bleed, and you put that in, and it's going to give you all of the dimensions that you need to put into your favorite tool. And so these two tools are very good time savers for figuring out your dimensions. Okay, so you definitely want to get good with that. Number 5 is going to be identifying gaps in the market. You don't want to do what everybody else is doing. You want to figure out a way to create a product that is unique to what everybody else is doing. I heard one of my mentors in my head, Nuria, talk about this, who, if you're not following her, shout out to her. She's over at the Home Boss. But she did a podcast where she was talking about that. And she was just saying, like, this is something that a lot of people get wrong. You think that, okay, gratitude journals are selling. I'm just going to go do a regular gratitude journal like everybody else. Something with flowers, something that has pretty writing on it, and it's going to sell. That is not the way to look at it. You really want to think about, okay, what kind of spin can I put on creating a gratitude journal? Just thinking about a unique spin or a take that you can put onto a product that is selling is really going to help you go very far. Okay, so you don't want to just do what everybody else is doing. You want to identify something that is unique and then put that out there into the marketplace so that you can have a better chance of standing out. All right, 6 is going to be creating great book covers with DIY design or outsourcing your books. So this is super important. This is something that I also see a lot of people get wrong. Listen, you cannot throw up a half-baked, terrible looking cover and then understand why you're not getting sales. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. You really have to put a lot of thought into the covers that you're creating for your books, because this is the first thing that people see when they're on Amazon. They're looking. So a couple of things to consider is getting good with choosing colors that pair well together. I use colorpalettes.net. This is one of my favorite tools. It's free, so you can head over to check that out. But it basically is a color palette picker where you can choose a color palette, you can copy the color codes, and you can apply those color codes within the design tool that you're using to add that color to your design. But it makes life so much easier. So that is one thing. Fonts, you want to choose fonts that pair well together. I've seen people, put fonts on their covers where it's too hard to read, they're too small, all that kinds of things. So you definitely want to get good with choosing fonts. And then the overall design aesthetic, like what aesthetic are you going for? And then something else that I want to point out is your aesthetic needs to match the person that you are targeting. Like if you're doing a children's book or something, or a children's journal or something like that, then you want to make sure that you have children's related designs on the front cover of the book. So you just kind of want to think about that when you're putting your books together and before you publish. So another place that you can go to gather some elements for your books, for your covers, is going to be Creative Fabrica. You guys have heard me mention this, but Creative Fabrica has a lot of different things that you can use. And this goes from fonts to elements that you can put on to graphics to all kinds of things. So that's something that you definitely want to get good at. Now, if you're not good with design, outsource. I just say outsource if you have a budget. Outsource. You can go over to Fiverr. They have a really good designers there. And so I would outsource if I know that I'm not good with design. And then last but not least is going to be making your interiors just as epic. So again, your interiors do need to look good. They need to look professional. Again, you just want to think about, like, is this something that I would buy for myself? And if not, then you probably want to go back to the drawing board. So a couple of places that you can get some ready-made interiors for those of you that are not really good with design is going to be shameless plug, the Journal Creators Collective. This is a new membership that I've started. It's pretty reasonable, where you can go over to get templates and interiors for journals that are already done. The covers are already done. You can just drag and drop things, add your own elements, change colors, and boom, you're done. Another place is going to be, yet again, Creative Fabrica. And then last but not least is designing your own. Now, any place that you're getting ready-made and pre-made interiors from to use in your books, change everything. Do not leave things as is. Make sure you're changing things. You're adding your own spice. You're adding elements and things like that to your books to make them different. Okay, so that wraps up today's video, guys. So I'd love to know from you, what are some things that you would tell people? If you've been in low content book publishing for a while, what are some things that you would share to folks that they need to do before they start their publishing journey? Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, a new video will be out later this week, and I will see you guys later.